up, guys? One Way Up here, back with another video. And in this video I'll be talking about the cost of living in New York City. Now this video is going to be coming from my perspective as a 25-year-old who I don't have my own apartment, but I'm living in something called a shared space, which is basically me renting out a room. It could be in an apartment, it could be in a multi-family home or actual house where you rent out the room, but you share the kitchen, bathroom, and living room with the other people on the same floor as you or above or below you, depending on the building that you're living in. So this is just from my perspective as someone who's actually living in New York, and I'm just going to give you a little bit more information about it so you can see how you feel, because I feel like a lot of people have the idea wrong of how it is to live in New York. So one of the biggest misconceptions I hear about living in New York is that everything is more expensive and therefore you will be spending more and blowing through your money quickly. Now that is both true and false at the same time, because when you dive into that a little bit more, you see that things are generally more expensive here on average as opposed to other places. Because I remember when I go out of state and things like that, I notice how things are cheaper over there, and I think to myself, wow, I can actually get more things when I'm in stores or out of state and things like that. But the thing is, even though things are more expensive on average in New York, the next thing is that we actually get paid more on average. So even the minimum wage in New York City is higher than other places in the country, but also the average salary for jobs in different professional fields are higher on average. So even though things are more expensive on average, you're also getting paid more as well. So I don't really understand why people are saying, it costs more to live here, when essentially it probably doesn't, because you are getting paid more at the same time. Now when it comes to actually buying a home or things like that, you won't get as much of a home as you would if you were to buy one in Florida or like a different state or something like that. Because I remember when my mom was looking for homes to buy, and we would go look in states like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, things like that, the amount of money that the range that she was looking to spend, if she were to go look out of state, she would be getting a much bigger home as opposed to buying in New York. Because I know right now she's living in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, but with that same amount of money, if she were to go to a different state, the homes we were looking at had like a garage, front and backyard, plenty of yard space, multi-levels of multiple bathrooms in it, things like that, which the first time I seen a home that she was considering buying, I was like, wow, I've never seen anything like that in New York with the amount of money that you're actually spending. So that's one thing that's considered if you're looking to buy a home. If you were to buy one in New York City specifically, you're not going to get as big of a home or as nice of a home. Another thing about living in New York though that does contribute to you spending more money is that you do have to pay a city tax, which in other cities throughout the US you don't have to, but there are some other cities where you do have to pay a city tax, but that is one thing you would have to consider. But overall, I feel like it doesn't really make that much of a difference when you're looking at your taxes as a whole, because it's a percentage of it, but I don't let it get to me. So that's that. So now a little bit about what I'm paying now and what I've paid in the past. So I moved in with my friend. Basically, his mom was the landlord. He had a multi-family home. His mom was the landlord, so we lived on the bottom level. They rented me out a room for about $600 a month. I was paying exactly $600 a month. So that was a very good deal considering the neighborhood I was living in and what I was getting, like laundry, internet, pretty much everything was included, TV and all that. Now, after I moved in with my mom and then moved back to New York, I moved in a room. I basically rented a room out for $750 a month, which basically gave me a room. I got to use the bathroom, and my kitchen access was very limited because it was basically a family house. So it was mainly just for the room. The room had a fridge in it, so I didn't really need to use the kitchen as much and things like that. And that was about $750 a month, all included with utilities. They had a TV in that room with cable, which I don't really watch TV that much, but that was nice to have. And $750 got me that. Currently where I am now, I'm spending about $880 a month, and that includes a room, shared bathroom, shared kitchen with other people on this level. So I'm not exactly sure how much it would cost to live in other states, but if you're looking to live in New York, at a minimum, if you're looking for just a room for yourself or you don't have enough for an apartment, expect to spend anywhere from $650 to $1,100 or $1,200 for a room, which includes a shared kitchen, bathroom, things like that. Now, one bedroom and studios would start at around $1,300 and up. I remember looking at two bedrooms with my friend, and it was going for about $1,650. So if we were to split that in half, we'd be spending about like $850, $880 after taxes and after utilities included and all the things like that. So you can move to New York with a budget of spending about $800 a month or something like that, if you can find a friend or someone who's looking to live in a place as well, and just take a 2-bedroom, split it in half, and there you go. You get more for your money and you get a nice place to live in. Now, while I was living in New York in the past, or with my friend and that other place, I was making closer to minimum wage, but I was still able to get by. Now, you just have to be very careful with your money and how you spend it, but it is possible to get by. You don't need a car to live here, which is great, which is one thing that other places you wouldn't have to worry about a car payment and insurance and things like that. But in New York City specifically, it's very easy to get around by public transportation. You don't need a car to get around. And if your budget is limited, you don't have to worry about a car payment or things like that. You can definitely get around without needing a car, which is good. So one of the main reasons people would move here is because of the opportunity. So it's the opportunity to really make more money in the future and provide a better life for yourself. So that's one of the pros that you need to consider if you want to think about living here, is that it's very easy to find a job, very easy to connect with people. Pretty much there's someone who will know someone that knows someone that could get you into a great opportunity or position to really grow and develop yourself or do what you want to do. It's pretty much anything that you want to do, you can find it here in New York City. So if you are considering moving here, definitely keep that in mind, as it is probably a risk, because you're probably thinking about how much money it is going to cost you and things like that, but it won't take long before you find opportunity. And if you know at least a couple people here, you definitely are in a much better position to getting closer to what you want to do. So that's pretty much living in New York from my perspective as someone who's living here. I hope this helps you to make up your mind and come to a decision if you are considering moving here, or if you just want to know about it and go over the numbers to see how it is to live in New York. Alright guys, so thank you for watching. I have more videos coming, and I'll see you in the next video.